My friend, have you ever caught a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and seen not just a reflection, but a lifetime of stories etched into your face? A tapestry of memories, of laughter, of hard earned wisdom. As we journey into the silver haired years, we understand a profound truth. Our most valuable asset isn't our possessions, but the brilliance of our minds. It's the clarity of thought, the sharpness of memory, the ability to connect with the world around us. But what if I told you that a seemingly harmless habit, a shortcut we've all taken in the kitchen, could be a silent and persistent thief, slowly dimming that inner light? This isn't about giving up the foods we love, but about unlocking a deeper wisdom. It's about learning to honor our bodies and our brains by making small, mindful choices. Today, we're going to talk about the simple, everyday act of reheating food and the surprising long-term impact it can have on our long-term cognitive health. Hello, and welcome back to Silver and Smart. I'm Allie, and it truly warms my heart to have you here with me. If you're a thoughtful soul over 50, seeking guidance on how to live your healthiest, most vibrant life, you are absolutely in the right place. We are a community dedicated to a life of grace, wisdom, and vitality. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to subscribe and become part of our growing family. You'll be glad you did. Before we dive into our specific foods, let's talk about a deeper, foundational principle. Our food is more than just fuel. It's a delicate ecosystem of nutrients, proteins, and fats. When we cook, we apply heat to transform this ecosystem, making it palatable and safe to eat. But when we apply that heat a second time, a third time, or more, we initiate a new and often unpredictable set of chemical reactions. This isn't about minor changes. It's about fundamental shifts that can transform a healthy, nourishing meal into something that creates inflammation and oxidative stress in our bodies. Think of inflammation as a smoldering fire. In small doses, it's a healing response. It's what helps our bodies mend after an injury or fight off an infection. But when it becomes chronic, a low, persistent burn, it can begin to damage our cells and tissues, including the delicate neurons in our brains. Oxidative stress is the rust on the gears of your body's machinery. It happens when free radicals, which are unstable molecules, overwhelm our body's natural defenses. It's a natural part of aging, a slow wearing down of our systems. But certain habits, like improper food preparation, can accelerate it. For the wise soul, the goal is to reduce both inflammation and oxidative stress wherever we can. Our kitchens are the first and most powerful place to start. Now, with this wisdom in mind, let's look at 7 common foods and uncover their hidden truths. Section 1. Fish. The fading light of omega-3s. We all know the mantra, eat more fish for a healthy brain. And it's true. Oily fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are packed with magnificent omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA. These are not just any fats. They are the building blocks of our brain cells. They are what give the brain its fluidity and support seamless nerve cell communication. Think of them as the protective armor and the smooth communication lines of your mind. They are what allow us to think clearly and remember vividly. But here's the rub. These beautiful, beneficial fats are incredibly fragile. Their chemical structure, which makes them so potent for our health, also makes them highly susceptible to damage from heat. When you apply high heat a second time, you don't just warm them up, you actively break them down. It's like trying to warm your hands by holding a delicate, perfectly crafted snowflake. The very thing you're trying to preserve melts away. The reheating process can also lead to the formation of harmful compounds like aldehydes, which are byproducts of fat oxidation. These compounds contribute to that smoldering inflammation we talked about. Consider the experiences of two friends, both in their late 70s, Mr. Davies and Mr. Collins. Mr. Davies loves preparing fresh fish on the grill and often has leftovers that he reheats the next day in the microwave for a quick meal. He doesn't think much of it, and assuming it's a convenient way to get a healthy dose of protein. Mr. Collins, on the other hand, also loves fish but prefers to eat it freshly cooked. When he has leftovers, he makes a point to enjoy them cold, perhaps flaking a piece of salmon over a fresh salad or turning it into a light, no-heat fish salad. Over time, Mr. Davies begins to experience memory lapses and finds it harder to concentrate on tasks. Meanwhile, Mr. Collins maintains his mental sharpness and stays alert. What Mr. Davies might not realize is that by reheating his fish, he is compromising the very nutrients that help protect his brain from cognitive decline. He is unknowingly stripping the fish of its most powerful anti-inflammatory and brain-boosting properties. The wisdom here is simple. If you've cooked a beautiful piece of fish, enjoy it fresh. If you have leftovers, embrace them cold. A cold salmon salad or a piece of mackerel on a cracker can be a delicious, nutrient-rich meal that preserves the goodness and bypasses the risk. This small, conscious choice can have a profound impact on your long-term health. Section 2, Meat, the accumulation of ages. Leftover meat, whether it's a pot roast or a roasted chicken, seems like the ultimate convenience. But you might be surprised to learn that reheating meat can actually pose a serious risk to your brain health as you age. While many people simply reheat leftovers to save time, the truth is that when meat is reheated, it undergoes chemical changes that can create harmful compounds, which have been linked to cognitive decline. When meat is cooked at high temperatures and then reheated, its proteins and fats can react with sugars in a process called glycation. This forms a group of compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. The name alone is a powerful reminder of what they do. They accelerate the aging process on the cellular level. AGEs are like tiny, sticky molecules that accumulate in our tissues and organs, including our brains. They promote inflammation and have been directly linked to neurodegenerative diseases. Think of it like this. Your cells are a clean, well-oiled machine. Ages are like a fine, gritty sand that you keep pouring into the gears. Over time, that sand wears down the machinery, causing it to run less efficiently and eventually break down. This is why you might see a beautiful young person in their 70s and another who seems to have aged prematurely. It's not just genetics, it's a lifetime of small choices. Consider the story of two friends, both in their mid-70s, Mr. Evan and Mr. Gregory. Mr. Evan loves his roast beef sandwiches and often heats up leftovers in the microwave. He doesn't think twice about it, as it's a quick and easy lunch. Mr. Gregory, on the other hand, takes extra care to avoid reheating meat. He eats freshly cooked meals and makes sure to store leftovers properly, always using them for cold sandwiches or salads rather than reheating. Over time, Mr. Evan begins to experience more frequent forgetfulness and has trouble focusing on simple tasks, while Mr. Gregory, despite being the same age, remains mentally sharp and alert. What Mr. Evan may not realize is that reheating his roast beef regularly is contributing to the slow buildup of harmful chemicals in his brain, accelerating cognitive decline. So what's the wiser path? If you must store leftover meat, slice it thinly and use it for a cold sandwich, a salad, or a no-heat wrap. This simple adjustment can make a big difference in protecting your brain health as you age. Section 3. Potatoes. The starchy neurotoxin. Potatoes are a staple of comfort, but like all things we love, we must understand them completely. You might not think twice about reheating mashed potatoes or a leftover baked potato, but it turns out that doing so can actually be harmful to your brain. When starchy foods like potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, especially when baked, fried, or roasted, they can form a compound called acrylamide. This substance is a known neurotoxin. It's not just in potatoes, but it's a significant risk when we improperly handle them. Now, here's the crucial part. Reheating potatoes that have already formed acrylamide doesn't get rid of it. In fact, if you're using high heat again, you might even increase the amount. Acrylamide can interfere with the way our brain's neurotransmitters work, and over time, its cumulative effect can contribute to cognitive decline. Research has shown that the more you consume these substances over time, the higher your risk becomes for cognitive decline in conditions like dementia. Think about two people, both 72 years old, Mrs. Jensen and Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Jensen is someone who loves making a big batch of mashed potatoes and reheating them throughout the week. She often adds butter and cream, making the potatoes rich and comforting. Mrs. Miller, on the other hand, prefers to eat freshly made meals, and if she has leftover potatoes, she enjoys them at room temperature or even chilled in a potato salad. Over time, Mrs. Jensen starts to notice some memory lapses and finds it harder to concentrate on things, while Mr. Miller continues to stay mentally sharp and alert. What Mrs. Jensen may not realize is that reheating her potatoes regularly is contributing to her slow cognitive decline due to the presence of acrylamide, a silent neurotoxin. The wisdom here is simple. If you've made a big batch of roasted potatoes, your best option is to enjoy them at room temperature or even cold. A chilled roasted potato salad can be a delicious and safe alternative. Wisdom, my friend, is simply knowledge applied. The more we know, the more empowered we become to live a life of vibrant health and vitality. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please take a moment to click that like button. It's a small gesture that tells the world we're building a community of empowered, wise people. And if you have a question or a story about something you've learned here, please share it in the comments below. Your story might be the one that inspires someone else. Section 4. Pasta, the blood sugar roller coaster. When it comes to reheating food, pasta is another common culprit that can contribute to cognitive decline if not prepared properly. While pasta might seem harmless, reheating it multiple times can lead to the formation of harmful compounds and, more importantly, cause a spike in your blood sugar levels. Research has shown that a high intake of refined carbohydrates and the subsequent blood sugar spikes they cause is directly linked to inflammation and a higher risk of dementia. As we age, our body's ability to manage insulin levels and control blood sugar naturally declines, making us even more susceptible to these harmful effects. Think of your blood sugar like a car on a road. When you eat fresh pasta, the car is cruising along a smooth highway. When you reheat pasta, especially multiple times, you're hitting the gas pedal and then the brake pedal repeatedly, causing a jarring, damaging ride for your body's systems. These sharp spikes in blood sugar can lead to systemic inflammation. And you know what that means for your brain. It's that smoldering fire we talked about, wearing down your cells and making them more vulnerable. Take a look at two individuals, Mr. Cooper and Mr. Harrison, both 75 years old. Mr. Cooper loves making big batches of pasta and often heats it up for lunch the next day. He adds sauces, reheats it in the microwave, and sometimes keeps leftovers for a few days. Mr. Harrison, on the other hand, makes fresh pasta whenever he feels like it, or if he has leftovers, he stores them in the fridge and makes a conscious effort to reheat them gently and only once. Over the course of the years, Mr. Cooper begins to notice that he's feeling more forgetful and finds it difficult to focus, while Mr. Harrison maintains a sharp mind and stays mentally active. What Mr. Cooper doesn't realize is that his habit of reheating pasta might be contributing to the inflammation in his body, which increases his risk of dementia. The solution is not to give up pasta, but to be a mindful chef. Prepare smaller batches. If you do have leftovers, store them properly and reheat them gently and only once. By making these small changes, you can help protect your brain and keep it sharp for the years ahead. Section 5. Vegetables, the vanishing nutrients. You may think that vegetables are a healthy choice no matter how you prepare them, but reheating vegetables can actually be problematic when it comes to brain health, especially after 70. Vegetables are the very foundation of a healthy diet. They are packed with antioxidants like vitamin C and E, which are our body's soldiers against oxidative stress. They are what keep our cells from rusting. But when you repeatedly reheat vegetables, especially in the microwave, you literally drain them of these vital nutrients. The very reason you chose to eat them disappears with each reheat. It's a tragic and unseen loss. The wisdom here is to eat your vegetables as close to their raw state as possible. Steam them, lightly saute them, but if you roast a big pan of them, consider enjoying the leftovers cold as part of a fresh salad. You get the crunch, the fiber, and most importantly, the full spectrum of their protective power. Take the example of two individuals, both 74 years old. Mrs. Adams enjoys her roasted vegetables and typically reheats them for lunch the next day. She often microwaves them, thinking that it's a quick and healthy option. Mrs. Palmer, however, prefers to eat fresh vegetables with every meal, avoiding leftovers as much as possible. When she does have leftovers, she incorporates them into a cold salad or a quick, no-cook meal. Over the years, Mrs. Adams starts feeling more tired and finds that her memory isn't as sharp as it used to be. Mrs. Palmer, however, maintains her mental clarity and feels more energetic. What Mrs. Adams doesn't realize is that by reheating her vegetables, she may be robbing her body of essential nutrients that help support brain function and prevent cognitive decline. The good news is that you can avoid this by focusing on fresh vegetables whenever possible and minimizing the number of times you reheat your food. When reheating vegetables, consider using a lower temperature and do so sparingly to preserve as many nutrients as possible.
Section 6. Rice, the stealthy risk. Reheating rice might seem completely benign, but it holds a significant and stealthy risk. Rice, when left at room temperature, can become a perfect breeding ground for a type of bacteria called Bacillus cereus. This bacteria isn't just the cause of food poisoning. It also produces toxins that can interfere with your digestive and, yes, your cognitive system over time. The key to preventing this is simple: proper storage. After cooking, cool your rice as quickly as possible and store it in the refrigerator. Never leave it out for a long period. And when you do reheat it, make sure it's heated thoroughly to a very high temperature to kill any potential bacteria. This is a crucial kitchen safety lesson that can have long-term benefits for your brain. Consider two seniors, both in their early 70s, Mr. Donovan and Mr. Blake. Mr. Donovan is careful about how he stores his rice, always making sure it's cooled down properly and reheated to a high enough temperature to kill off any bacteria. He continues to enjoy his meals without any issues, staying sharp mentally and physically. Mr. Blake, on the other hand, often reuses rice that has been sitting on the counter for a while or in the fridge for a day or two, and sometimes he doesn't heat it up thoroughly. Over time, Mr. Blake begins to notice that his memory isn't as sharp as it used to be, and he struggles with confusion more frequently. What Mr. Blake doesn't realize is that the improper reheating of rice might be contributing to this cognitive decline.
Section 7. Soups and stews. The altered fats. Soups and stews are the definition of comfort. We often make huge pots to last us for days, but reheating these foods repeatedly can pose a significant risk to your brain health. While they might seem like a simple, healthy meal option, reheating soups and stews, particularly those with a lot of cream, dairy, or broth, can lead to the creation of unhealthy fats and compounds that contribute to inflammation. Take two examples. Mr. Foster and Mr. Leo, both in their early 80s. Mr. Foster enjoys making large batches of soup, which he reheats daily for convenience. His favorite is a hearty beef stew with a rich broth and a touch of cream. Mr. Leo, on the other hand, makes smaller batches of soup, eating them fresh or freezing any leftovers to be enjoyed later without repeated reheating. Over time, Mr. Foster starts to feel more forgetful and experiences moments of confusion, while Mr. Leo remains mentally sharp and energetic. What Mr. Foster doesn't realize is that reheating his soups, especially those rich in fats and creams, is contributing to the slow buildup of unhealthy compounds in his body and brain, which could be accelerating cognitive decline. The solution is not to give up your hearty stews. It's to be a smart chef. Make your large batches, but then portion them out and freeze them. That way, when you want a bowl, you simply defrost and reheat it once. You get all the comfort without any of the risk. My friend, we have spent a lifetime gathering wisdom, nurturing our passions, and building our legacy. The choices we make now are a direct reflection of our love for that legacy. This isn't about rigid rules or fear, it's about empowerment. It's about being mindful of the small, simple acts that can either build us up or slowly wear us down. Today, you have gained a new layer of knowledge. You can choose to be a protector of your own mind. You can choose to be the one who stands for health and vitality. So I want to leave you with one final important question. What is one small conscious change you will make in your kitchen this week to honor your brain and secure your legacy of wisdom? Share your answer in the comments below. Your thoughts are the fuel for our community, and we can't wait to hear from you. If this video was a light for you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share this knowledge with someone you care about. Until next time, stay smart and stay silver.